U.S. President Donald Trump announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran.
AI-powered traffic lights are coming to Yonge Street this May.
Plans to expand Billy Bishop raise concerns.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Semi Wan.
And I'm Sia Shete. In response to U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of a 2-week ceasefire with Iran, Iranian communities in Toronto said that the ceasefire has brought some relief, but continued to be a concern for families back in the country. The impact of the ceasefire goes beyond those directly affected by the war. Oil prices plunged after the announcement, which might cause gas to go down over the coming days.
The City of Toronto is planning to install AI-powered traffic lights set to roll out at some intersections as Toronto looks to improve traffic flow and build-up. The first installations are set to take place on Yonge Street in May from Mill Street near York Mills Road to Steeles Avenue. Plans to expand Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport are sparking a debate across Toronto. The plan includes expanding the runway to accommodate larger jet engines. OTR reporter Saba Iqbal visited the waterfront for a closer look at what people think about the plan.
Planes flying low over Toronto waterfront could soon become more frequent and much louder. The Ontario government plans to expand Billy Bishop Airport. Officials say it will create jobs, lower ticket prices, and reduce pressure on Toronto Pearson International Airport. Plans to expand Billy Bishop Airport are getting mixed reactions along waterfront Toronto. I spoke with people in the area to hear how they feel about the changes.
I mean, we already have a lot of airplane traffic down here, and it's very loud and very disruptive. Alongside that, it also disrupts the wildlife because the natural sleep cycles aren't being protected.
I think it's a good idea to expand this airport because of you can see the other airport is nowadays very busy. So if this one is expanded, so it's easy access to the local people here who live in Toronto.
And I kind of have mixed feelings about it. If it can help the economy, if it can bring more tourism and boost the economy and help people to travel more and help the businesses, then I support it. But at the same time, if it can affect the wildlife and if maybe it cause more noises in the city, especially in downtown, then that can be a concern. So I have mixed feelings about it at this moment.
While supporters say the expansion will boost the economy and improve travel options across the region, groups like No Jets TO are opposing the plan, saying it could damage the environment and change the character of the waterfront, and the long-term impact on the waterfront and community cannot be ignored. The Toronto Port Authority and the province are on board with expanding Billy Bishop Airport, but the plan cannot move forward without alignment from federal, provincial, and municipal leaders and a deeper review of the community impact. Reporting for On the Record News, I'm Saba Iqbal.
With Toronto preparing to host matches for the FIFA World Cup this year, questions are being raised about the safety of bleacher seating at the BMO Field. OTR reporter Manroop Aulakh has the story.
As Toronto prepares to welcome thousands of fans from across the world, BMO Field is expanding its capacity with temporary bleacher seating. But with steep rows and compact spacing, some are questioning how safely these seats can handle large, fast-moving crowds.
Those seats in particular, some of the higher up ones, very far away from the stage, those do seem to be pretty cramped. It would be very difficult, let's say, if you were to have to go to the washroom, to get out of your seat and go be able to find the bathroom. It might be some trouble.
Others say while the design may look concerning, they trust the engineering behind it.
It just looks like it could fall at any point, and there's a lot of weight. I trust, like I've said, I think they know what they're doing, but obviously I'd be concerned if it got super rowdy and something were to kind of fall.
In preparation for the World Cup, the BMO field will add an additional 17,700 seats, bringing total capacity to around 45,700 seats. While some fans remain concerned, organizers say there's no reason to worry. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment's Chief Operating Officer Nick Eves says he has been in the temporary seating himself, describing it as sturdy, safe, and offering a spectacular view. With thousands expected to move through these sections during games, how easily fans can navigate the space may be just as important as the structure itself. The bleachers may look like any other stadium seating, but with the tight spacing and the steep design, the question remains whether Toronto's ready for the World Cup. For OTR News, I'm Manroop.
With the end of the semester, TMU's 36th mass exodus is the final hurdle for graduating designers and a massive collaborative effort involving over 80 students across the creative school. More for the story with Julia Petrucci.
It's one of the most anticipated dates on the Toronto fashion calendar. Beyond these doors, at Toronto Metropolitan University, a small army of creatives is preparing for a takeover. Under the guidance of Professor Dirk de Waal, who came to the fashion school 3 years ago from Berlin, the students in FSN 827 have had the entire semester to pull off the show that has evolved into a professional-grade spectacle. For the designers, this is the culmination of 4 years of blood, sweat, and shears.
It's like the big end-of-year thesis almost. We call it capstone. And it's like what you're working towards for your entire degree.
Lauren's work reflects the rigorous technical standards Mass Exodus is known for. Every stitch is a decision, and every silhouette is a statement meant to catch the eye of the industry scouts in the front row.
My collection's like a women's cocktail wear collection. I did do a lot of lingerie type finishings. It's based off of a lot of Gothic stories, so like Jane Eyre, the yellow wallpaper.
Yeah, so I'm basically in my 4th year of fashion design at TMU, so it's mandatory to do a capstone project, and since I'm focusing more on design, I decided to do like a collection of 5 looks.
Rose's collection leans into the transdisciplinary nature of the super discourse. By blending traditional craftsmanship with modern technology, she represents a new wave of TMU fashion, innovative and unbothered by boundaries.
So my collection overall is called Polished Rebellion, and it's a gender fluid collection. It's based on just office wear.
The logistical feat of Mass Exodus is staggering. While the designers focus on the thread, the production team focuses on the floor. This building has seen decades of fashion history, but these students are focused firmly on the future. They are redefining what a runway can be, making it more accessible and more reflective of the diverse community that calls TMU home. 4 shows, dozens of collections, hundreds of guests. For the class of 2026, this isn't just a fashion show, it's their entrance into the fashion world.
The event will be running this Saturday, April 11th, starting at 11 a.m. There's going to be 4 separate shows at 11, 1, 3, and 5 on SLC Floor 8 at Toronto Metropolitan University. If you want more information, go to TMU events/Mass Exodus. Reporting live, Julia Petrucci for On the Record News.
Thank you for that story, Julia. So a lot is happening at TMU this time of the year, and if I remember right, there was another event that you did attend. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so I did go to TMU's A Night Off. It was hosted on the SLC Floor 6, and it was run by the Creative School by students again, and it was a multifaceted vendor and talent show kind of event. We got to speak to attendees, vendors, and some of the talent. Let's take a look.
I had a really great experience vending tonight. Everyone who came out was so friendly. I was happy to sell some really cute clothes and see some cool talent perform. It was a great time.
Like, I wasn't really like a go to events type person until I came here, and I'm like, wow, like if there's more of this, like I'm coming, I'm going, yeah.
And because I was able to prep all of yesterday, it went by really smooth and quickly, so I'm very glad. I was hoping to meet some really great people at TMU, which I did, and everyone was so nice, and just like meeting creative individuals, like this was the space too, so I'm so glad I got the chance to do that.
Thank you so much, Julia. It's been an exciting week in entertainment with still more to come. Let's hear a bit more about it from Anish Dhupar.
Thanks, Semi and Sia. Here's what's new in entertainment this week. In film, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is finally out in theaters and has powered to a $372 million opening worldwide. It's the third biggest opening for an animated movie, slightly behind its predecessor in Zootopia 2. Chris Pratt, Anna Taylor-Joy, Charlie Day, Jack Black, and Keegan-Michael Key returned to reprise their roles, while big names such as Donald Glover, Benny Safdie, Glenn Powell, and Brie Larson joined the cast. The film picks up shortly after the events of the first movie. Having defeated Bowser, Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach had earned some rest. This rest is short-lived as Bowser Jr. shows up to take his father back from the castle, creating a rescue mission across the galaxy. The film is met with mixed reviews. While critics don't seem to have enjoyed it with a 41% score on Rotten Tomatoes, fans have shown incredible love to the movie with an 89% score on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh. Will you be grabbing tickets to the Mushroom Kingdom? In music, Brampton native Tory Lanez released his newly anticipated album on April 3rd. This is Tory's 16th studio album and his third album in 2 years. Will you be giving it a listen? In pop culture, the hugely popular anime One Piece finally returns with their Elbaf arc after a 6-month hiatus. One Piece enters its second season despite being 1,179 episodes long. However, as the show has entered its endgame stage, it will be taking more breaks during the season, but this will ultimately be beneficial in the end, as Toei Animation promises higher quality animation, less filler, and a better adaptation from the manga. Fans have been eagerly waiting for the crew to reach Elbaf, as exciting new characters are waiting to be met. Amazon Prime original The Boys' final season is set to premiere today, April 8th, concluding one of the most popular shows in the last decade. The 5th season will bring back fan favorite Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy. Also newly cast this season is Jared Padalecki, known for his role as Sam on Supernatural, reuniting him with his Jensen from their Supernatural days. We're definitely in for some exciting new shenanigans from The Boys. Will you be tuning in? Fans of a galaxy far, far away have something new to dive into, as Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord officially premiered on April 5th, bringing one of the franchise's most compelling villains back into the spotlight. Centered on fan favorite Sith Darth Maul, the show explores his rise to power in the criminal underworld, following the events of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and his later appearances across the franchise. The premiere has already sparked with excitement online, with viewers praising its tone, action sequences, and expansion of the Underworld storyline. The show has received a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Whether you're a longtime fan or just getting into the saga, Maul Shadow Lord offers a fresh perspective on the franchise's most iconic villains and proves there is still plenty of stories left to tell in the Star Wars universe. That's all for entertainment this week. Back to you.
Now, let's hear from Yousuf Zaidi for more on the latest in sports this week.
This week is a busy one for sports fans as March Madness came to a close Monday. In men's basketball, the Michigan Wolverines defeated the Yukon Huskies after a close 69-63 point game. Michigan brought home their first D1's men's basketball national championship win since 1989. On the women's side, the UCLA Bruins had a dominating win over the South Carolina Gamecocks, winning by 28 points. This championship win marks the first time the UCLA women's basketball has won an NCAA title. The Blue Jays are back in town with games against the LA Dodgers happening early this week and games against the Minnesota Twins happening all weekend at Rogers Center. Tonight, over at Scotiabank Arena, the Toronto Maple Leafs are preparing to face off against the Washington Capitals. This will be the third time the Maple Leafs battle against the Capitals this season. Can the Leafs squeeze out their first win against Washington? Puck drops tonight at 7:30 p.m. TMU Bold are having their annual award show for Bold athletes tonight. Select men and women athletes across all sports have been nominated for a variety of awards. Keep an eye out for TMU Bold's Instagram and website for the award winners being announced later today. That's all for the sports this week. For On the Record News, I'm Yousuf Zaidi.
Thank you, Yousuf. Let's send it to Jaden Whitelaw now with an update on weather.
Thanks, Sammy and Sia. As we start to roll into spring, it might be finally time to put away those thick winter coats. But don't get too excited. You may still need a light jacket and on some days, an umbrella. Let's first have a look at the temperatures across the GTA today. Out west in Guelph and Kitchener, they'll be getting some highs of 9 today. Nearby Brampton will be a little cooler, peaking at 6 degrees. Barrie and Newmarket further north will also reach highs of 6. Down in St. Catharines, it'll be a little warmer with a high of 8. Then in the city, it'll be a little chilly as we only get to a high of 4 today. But don't worry, because we'll be getting some warmer days coming up. On to the 5-day forecast now. Tomorrow, the temperature will skyrocket to 15 degrees to give us a sneak peek of some nice weather. But Friday drops us back down to reality with a high of 5 degrees and a low of 1, with rain expected to fall throughout the day. Saturday promises clear skies and a high of 8 degrees. And finally, Sunday will be partly cloudy, reaching 10 degrees. We're not at t-shirt weather yet, but at least we're not in the negatives. So if you're heading out this weekend, you can still enjoy the outdoors, but remember to wear that sweater or hoodie before you leave home. Summer is just around the corner, and I think everyone cannot wait for that. That's all for the weather. Now let's send it back to the desk.
Now let's hear from the newsroom with their live news flash. Mia, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Emmy. Our reporters are working hard in the newsroom to bring you their final stories of the semester. But before we dive into that, we have some major news. OTR reporter Julia Petrucci is covering a night off at Toronto Metropolitan University, where the event transforms the Student Learning Centre into a space for live performances, workshops, and student vendors. Expect a story on how the event is giving students a creative break while highlighting their work later this week. Our final podcast breaks down the key issues in shaping Toronto's upcoming municipal election. This takes a look at what the city has accomplished since the last election and where the gaps remain. Be sure to check it out. As Toronto gears up to host matches for the FIFA World Cup 2026, concerns are emerging about the safety of bleacher seating at BMO Field. OTR reporters Manroop and Younes will have more on our website later. The winner of the TKTK Award for Best Story of the Semester goes to our OTR reporter, Moyo Lawuyi. The piece, It's All of Us or None of Us, captures a pivotal moment for students across Ontario, documenting both the immediate impact of recent OSAP changes and the growing wave of student mobilization in response. Moyo, congratulations. How does winning this award feel?
It feels good. I was really excited. I didn't expect it.
And can you tell us a little bit more about your story?
My story was basically covering the OSAP town hall that TMSU and other Ontario student unions organized, and it was great to see the student mobilization and the hope that students had in the room about countering the OSAP changes and basically having hope that they can be reversed.
And what's next for you?
I hope to continue doing journalism, continue writing, continuing making impact any way I can. Yeah.
Well, congratulations again, Moyo, and thank you for your groundbreaking reporting.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us at On the Record this year. We appreciate you tuning in, and we're looking forward to bringing you more hard-hitting stories this fall. You can stay up to date on our stories at ontherecordnews.ca. Back to you in the studio.
And that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
This is our official sign-off for the semester, and you can reach out next broadcast during the fall 2026 semester.
And for the latest 24/7, please visit our website, ontherecordnews.ca. Have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. See you next semester.